Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie a streamer, and this streamer is a pattern from William Bayard Sturgis book, and this is a streamer, and this is going to be the Red Dog. The doesn't say what sizes, that there's no sizes in this book, but you could kind of figure that out. But there's no sizes. But the hook that I'm going to use, this is a Maruto, and it is an I-77LS. Yeah, that's correct. Size 6. It's just a standard length streamer hook. You could get these from Frosty Fly. And we're going to use some weight on there. I'm going to use 25 thousandths lead wire. I'm going to use red floss. It calls for scarlet chenille ribbed with silver tinsel. So we're going to use the silver tinsel and a red goose. So this is just your basic, go to the craft store and grab some of these. I don't know if they're turkey or goose or whatever, but this is going to be sufficient. That is the tail. And it says brown polar bear for the wing or bucktail. So we're going to use bucktail, and the shoulders are jungle cock. And I have some, but if you don't have some, you can use, there's different substitutes that you could use for jungle cock, or you don't have to use it at all. If I could think of the substitutes for the jungle cock, I'll tell you, but right at the moment I can't. I think starling might be one of the substitutes for jungle cock, but don't quote me on that one. Okay, we're going to start off by, we're going to put the 25 thousandths lead on there. And I think streamers are good for this time of year. It's getting to the point where they're going to be going to spawning and stuff like that. And one thing that trout don't tolerate is having small fish messing around their spawning beds or their reds, and they attack them out of territorial attacks. Go ahead and break that off. And I wasn't counting how many wraps I put on there, but we're going to keep that right in the middle. And of course, the number of wraps determines how much weight is on there. Now I'm going to take my black thread, and we're going to get that base of thread, hold that lead into place there so you don't push it back. Then once you get it on top of the lead, you can go ahead and quickly get it to the back. Put several wraps in the back. You almost want to make a ramp there, but so you don't have a step. And also in the front. But instead of I said already, instead of the chenille, we're going to use red floss. I think they look a lot better with the floss than with the chenille anyway. And we're going to bring this back just inside the point. You don't have to go to the barb. I've mashed the barb down. We'll get that a little closer. Now I'm just going to take a section of this, and this right here looks like a good section for the tail. And here we go, and we're going to put this on. And one other thing, on the last fly that I did, the West Branch Caddis, I put a little bit of head cement on there to stiffen it up, and you could do that with this, although I didn't do it with this. I'm going to make that tail maybe about a quarter the length of the hook. I got a little, you can see that space right there, so I'm going to get it in back of that. Just going to take a loose loop, pull that straight down, and then go forward with it. Keep that shape nice, although it's going to go away probably when it gets in the water. And luckily I can wrap that whole thing in. And I can also use that to help get that taper on there. I'm coming back to the back again because now I'm going to put the tinsel in, and this is number 18 gold and silver. Maybe a bigger one might even be better. Let me go ahead and grab a bigger one. How about a number 14? Take a piece of that, just take maybe 2 wraps off there, that should be plenty. Get that little bigger tinsel on there because it is a streamer. And this is gold and silver, so I'm going to tie it in so I can see the gold side. Put that other end in my material clip and bring that up forward. I'm going to come just in front of the lead wraps. Now I'm going to take probably about almost a foot of the red floss. There we go. Oop, one of them I didn't get. That's the things. You can see how messed up that is right there. But one thing I do, run it across your tongue, or have a little basin of water there if you don't like running the materials in your mouth. I know there has been cases where people have gotten sick, but very few in comparison to the amount of flies that are tied. And we're going to tie this in at the front. And then we could go ahead and attach that. There we go. Get that tinsel in that material clip better. And one thing I am going to do, I don't have my cradle, bobbin cradle, on my vise, but I'm going to go ahead and whip finish that. And I'm just going to leave that. And my thread is going to climb as I wrap and as I rotate my vise, but at least I know I'm going to count the wraps so I know how many times to unwrap it. So we're going to go ahead and start this. Yep, that material came off the clipping in. And try to get them to overlap a little bit. You don't want a rope, you want this flat, but just be careful because it can easily split away on you. We'll get that right down to the tail. You can see how it was splitting there a little bit. Especially on the end is where it splits a lot. Now as I'm going back up, I'm making sure, and I didn't count, but I'm making sure that I overlap and get any of the misses that I might have gotten from it. Okay, that's probably going to be enough. And we'll go ahead and finish this up. Making sure we don't have misses. You see right there in the front, I got a miss, and that was right on the lead. Okay, I'm going to bring this up, and then we can secure that. And you see I have about 1 inch left. Fold that back a little bit, put a couple wraps there. And we're going to go ahead and wrap our rib. And I'm just going to, once again, rotate my vise, get a little better spacing there. Now it's going down. I wrapped that close because it was going down, and I'm going to wrap over that. Make sure that's tight, and I'm going to bring that back. Put a couple wraps on top even. Now I'm going to take, I have an orange dyed bucktail here, but the nice brown in here. So I'm going to use that. I'm just going to grab a little bunch. It's a little harder trying to get the hair out of the middle of the bunch. When you keep trimming from here, you can see that's all trimmed. If I continued trimming from there, it would be easier. And we have a bunch, twice the size of a pencil tip. Take the loose ones out. I'm going to take that bucktail and put it in my large hair stacker. Go ahead and give that a few whacks. See if it leveled off. It's pretty good. Sometimes you get that short underfur even on the tail. Sometimes. We're going to go and size that up. We're going to make that just slightly longer than the tail. I'm going to go looser and then tighten it. And now I can go ahead and trim off that excess nice and close. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my jungle cock, and we're going to take a couple of them that are basically to size here. A lot of split ones on this because I didn't get a number 1 jungle cock. You can tell by the color even. There we go. And this feather, this is actually, you see the white, it's supposed to be yellow or orange on the really good ones, but that's actually really together. I don't know what to call it, but they're not barbels. The barbels are stuck together. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on the side. You could even make it going up the wing slightly. And I'm going to take the other one and again remove those, and you can see this feather broke when the stem broke, but I have plenty, and we're going to size that up and put that right on the side. These are a nice little complement to your flies, these jungle cock. But I think I've said it before, they're very expensive, especially if you want to get a number 1. You're looking at almost $200 for a number 1. And I can't afford $200 for feathers. I'm going to fold these back just to help lock them in. And I can go ahead and remove those stems, and the other one is already broke, and we wrap the head up, and we'll cover all of the color, and that will help make the fly. What do we got there? We got a little bit of silver there, so I'll pull that back and cover that color. There we go. I'm going to give it the whip finish. Saw a little bit of color on this side. There we go. Tighten that up. Got a couple little hairs sticking off the front. That'll do. Then I'm going to take some UV Cure, and here's a quick little tip. I have UV knot sense, and that'll take care of this as a head cement. And unfortunately, my wife has my UV light again, so I'm going to have to put this on the window to cure. The sun cures this stuff in seconds. If you've never used UV knot scents, it's actually a pretty good product. You can put it on your knots. It'll actually, like you can put them on the knots of your leader, your knotted leaders, hand-tied leaders, and it'll make a smoother. So when you get to actually have the leader inside the eyes of the rod, it will make it smoother going back out if the fish takes a run. But when you do that, you always want to turn your back to the sun because it will cure it that fast. So after, I'm going to put this put this in the sun to cure it. But here we have a red dog, and I hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know that I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. Would you like to purchase any flies for me? Go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it there, just send me a message and I'll get right back to you. And we'll figure out what you're looking for. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.